Now, in terms of preparation, there are quite a bit of preparations that we can do. Just that we are not doing it in the way that is required of the Jewish people to do. We just need to know the format. We just need to know how the foods are prepared, and go through the flow as the Bible has it, or as the Seder plate has it, as Passover meal has it. And make sure we get those things right. 那么我们要学的呢，就不是像犹太人他们叫做守律法的那种做法，不是。是要知道逾越节餐，还有他吃的时候的那个次序，还有那个属灵的意思，这个就非常重要。那么一开始的时候呢，有食物的准备。In the beginning, we have some food preparation, and if you can see on the outline, I'm just going to go through it very fast. 我就是很简单的把它就讲一讲哈。The first one is called the marrow and marrow and Sezeret。第一个呢，就是叫做苦菜的那一类哈，苦菜的那一类。It basically means bitter herbs. It just symbolizes the 400 years of slavery that the Jewish people had while they were in Egypt, while they were bound as slaves. So it symbolizes the bitterness that they experienced. You can use horseradish, or you can use romaine lettuce to represent that bitter herb. And it speaks about the bitterness of the slavery, and you can eat it during the Seder. 第一个呢，就是这个苦菜。苦菜是象征以色列人，他们是为奴受苦的这个400年啊。那么这个为奴这个受苦的400年的那个苦的味道啊，是用这个苦菜来代表啊。那第一个呢，就是属于是叫做芥辣的那一种啊，是属于有点苦、有点辣的东西啊。那第二个你可以用生菜，他们用的生菜叫做 romaine lettuce， 多数是长的那一个，不是中国人的那一个，所以你要知道是哪一种啊，长的那个。Yeah, you use only one type.
Horseradish.
Horseradish.
Yeah, you get it in a store, a bottle.
So they make wasabi with.
Yeah, very spicy.
好似wasabi咁嘅，有啲係白色嘅，有啲係綠綠地嘅。And then the next thing in the ingredient that you need to prepare is called carousel, right? Yeah, carousel is number 2. 第二样东西你要预备的哈，这个的东西呢叫做 carousel， 就是第二的那个。So basically, this is the sweet combination of a few things together: chopped nuts, grated apples, and cinnamon. Some of them use wine. Some people use dates and honey.
Brown sugar too instead of wine. We use brown sugar.
Yeah, it depends. Some people use brown sugar too if they want, but usually they use dates instead of brown sugar, like the sweet. It's not brown sugar.
Oh,
yeah.
We use brown sugar though.
Okay, yeah. So actually, you can put whatever ingredients you want to put in to make it sweet, basically. Yeah.
Dates, honey.
Yeah, it's just that you want to make it look like a brown.
Mortar.
Yes, mortar. A patch of brown thing, you know.
Yeah,
but it's sweet kind of. It is a sweet brown mixture, represents the mortar used by the slaves to build the Egyptian storehouses. The bricks that they made, actually. Yeah. And you know, when they use brick to make the bricks, it means it's a symbol of a curse. It's a slave labor, basically. 那第二个你要用的呢，叫做 carousel 的这个呢，其实是已经用一些已经切碎的坚果啊，还有一些的苹果啊，有肉桂，有些人就是放有一点葡萄酒红酒进去，其他你可以放这个红枣。就是甜的枣，还有这个蜜，蜂蜜也可以，只是你要把它是弄成一堆弄成一堆的，那是代表呢，以色列人他们在埃及地里面受苦为奴的时候做工，他们做的 时候是用来做这一种的专为奴所做的受诅咒的工作来的，是诅咒的一种，就是为奴嘛，是在不是在神的祝福之下，是在为奴之下。然后第三种东西你要用的呢，是叫做 karpas。karpas 呢，是你可以用芹菜。这个芹菜呢，就是应该是外国人的那一种芹菜，因为有这种中国人，所以有不同，对吗？是吗
Parsley.
That's different than celery, right?
Yeah, it's
This
not
is
celery.
this is parsley, not celery, right?
Parsley.
Parsley. It depends on the
It's parsley.
Italian parsley.
第三种要用的呢，这个菜是 parsley. The third vegetable you need to use is parsley. And the next thing is you need to prepare salt water. Okay, salt water in a bowl for dipping. 然后呢，你需要用的是什么？盐水，放在那个碗的那里啊。Now, because Passover happens in springtime, the vegetables that they use also signifies it's springtime. It's time to have Passover. 所以他们用这种菜的时候，也表明是春天来了，因为逾越节是在春天的时候发生的。Now, normal Shabbat holiday meal would always begin after the blessing. They will always begin with eating bread. But because this is different, that's why they don't start with eating the bread. They start with eating the
Grape juice.
vegetable, the green. Yeah. So then it started them asking a question, which they will ask every year during Passover meal. Why is tonight so different than any other night? So that was the question that will be prompted for people to ask. And this is part of the protocol, you know. 其中呢，就是因为要用这个叫做菜来开始而并不是照常他们本来有的一些节庆他们都会就是祝福祷告之后，他们都会用吃面包来开始的。但是这个呢，就是用菜来开始，以致他们是要问他们的那个问题。每一年逾越节餐里面都会问这个问题：为什么这一天晚上和其他的晚上完全不同呢？所以会有这个问题，问问题的时间会在那里。And then the next thing you want to prepare, it's called the bone, okay? The shank bone or the bone of a lamb. Usually it's the bone of a lamb. Even though some people may use other bones, you know, to represent. But this one is called Zoroa or Zoroa. It means the shank bone, the bone of the animal, which is usually lamb. 然后第四样要用的呢，就是那个羊的那个骨头啊。这个羊的骨头可以用其他的骨头来代替，但是通常就是用羊骨头。It represents the Korban Pesach, which is the sacrifice of the animal that is being used during the Jerusalem celebration or the Jerusalem offering when they have Passover. Usually a lamb would be slaughtered and then roasted because it cannot be cooked with water. It will be roasted as part of the sacrifice that was done, and then people are supposed to eat that as part of the meal. 这个的羊的这个骨头是代表当时他们是有这个逾越节餐的时候，是有一只的羊要被宰杀，然后呢，这个羊要被火来烤熟才来吃啊，是不可以用水来煮的。那么是代表当时的这个献祭。但是问题是现在是没有了这一个的献祭，因为那个耶路撒冷的圣殿是在主后的70年是被毁的，对吧？所以就没有了。那所以这个只是放在那个盘上面，只是能够做个代表而已，不能够吃，也不能够用。So this shank bone is only for display on the plate to represent that once, some time ago, before the temple was destroyed, there was a sacrifice that was made during Passover meal, and they roasted it, and they were able to eat the lamb meat together with the Seder. But now, because the temple was destroyed in AD 70, it's just a memorial, a remembering of there was once a sacrifice. And so that piece of bone was just to be put on the plate, and you don't do anything about it. But you need to explain the meaning of it. Then the next thing now is called the piazza. 再下来的就是这个鸡蛋piazza。这个呢，它是代表在象征是在那个吃餐用的时候要来吃的。只是呢，因为这个鸡蛋呢，它是有人死了之后你如果是参加葬礼的那么那个主家他们给你吃的食物，第一个就是一粒鸡蛋，是有哀悼的这个意思在里面所以变成用来成为什么呢？成为象征这个圣殿被毁掉，是他们有一个哀伤的一个代表。因为其中本来这个蛋是拿来预表当时他们吃逾越节餐的时候，是象征有一些是用肉是来献祭的这一些的祭物，是肉的祭物，但是现在没了电所以这一些呢是也没有了。So for the egg or the piazza, it's to represent the sacrifice that were once used. Usually they are the meat that's being roasted. They are supposed to represent the meat offerings during the feast time. But now, because there is none, no temple, no sacrifices, therefore it is represented by a hard-boiled egg. Why? Because the first thing that the Jewish people would serve a mourner, somebody who mourned after a funeral service, the first thing they serve them is a hard-boiled egg. So it represents that they are mourning for the loss of the temple. So the next thing you need to prepare would be the juice. You need to either get 4 small cups, or you can use the same small cup 4 times. But juice will be used in order to start the toast or to start the cups of blessing. There are 4 times of blessing. And then for the cup, it depends on you. At least you know you need to prepare juice enough for each person to drink 4 times. 然后呢，你要准备有一些的果汁，葡萄汁，多数就是葡萄汁。因为呢，在整个的这个约餐里面，你会有4次呢是举杯的举起杯来的那你看，当时你是做这个约戒餐的时候，是应该怎么样的来安排？4个杯还是1个杯喝4次这个不过就是有4次要喝这个葡萄汁那最后呢，我们必须要有很多的什么无酵饼。So the last thing you need to prepare is lots of matzo, lots of bread, right? And out of all the matzo, you need to prepare like a set. We usually call it the unity. Okay. In this set, you need to have 3 whole pieces of matzo bread. 3 whole. And then the middle piece, you need to wrap it up. You can wrap it with a linen cloth, or you can wrap it with, whatever napkin or tissue. But the middle piece only will be wrapped. And then you put the top one, which is unwrapped, and the bottom one, which is unwrapped, which is not wrapped, and you put together. And that's called a whole set of unity. Whole set. You need to prepare that for each table. 然后呢，你必须要准备的这个许多的无酵饼，对吗？其中有一个呢，中文的这个翻译其实它那个东西叫做合一，是3块的完整的无酵饼合起来，中间那一块呢是要用这个细麻布把它包起来然后呢夹在2块的这个中间，就中间那个被包起来， 然后呢就放在一边放在一个盘子上。每一个的这个逾越节餐的桌子必须有这个。Any question you want to ask concerning the things, elements, the things you need for the Seder meal?
有嗰個羊頭骨係咪一定要有㗎？
Yes. Everything must be on the plate. Yeah. At least one set. You know.
但係啲羊肉唔一定係成隻羊啦，係咪？有教羊肉得啦。
Oh yeah, that's a separate thing. The meat for you to eat dinner is a separate thing. For the Seder plate, you need to have all this few things on it, all of them.
But
Should be on it.
they can buy it or they can use any other plate, you know. If they don't have one.
They have a set to sell.
Yeah, they have
one set to sell.
one plate can buy $30 maybe, $40 to take one.
Yeah, you can use
Normal plate. Yeah, normal plate.
那并清楚一下哈，关于那个盘 all these things in terms of the food items, you need to put it on one plate
Yeah.
only. One plate to be displayed at the table, right? 这一些完全所讲的这种食物，你只需要有一个大的盘，把它全部摆在那里就可以，对吗？摆在那里 ，yeah. You can use even chicken bone to represent the
Yeah.
bone, if you want to. 你可以用鸡骨来代表也行
Good one.
Because because this is only symbolic.
Use the shank
因为只是象征
They
性。
use the shank bone.
We are not the lawful by blood Jewish people. 我们不是血统里面的那个犹太人。你是犹太人的话，你必须要全部都要找那一种东西来，不是一个外邦的人要做的。你是外邦人的话，在他们的法律来，你不可以做的。对吧？ If you are a Gentile, you cannot conduct a Seder. To start with, at the beginning, when you set your table, you would have, say, a rectangular table. 开始的时候，你可能会有一个长的桌子。The master of ceremony or the one who conducts it will be sitting at one corner like this, the end of the table, at the beginning of the table. And then the rest of the people sit like that. Okay? 那你一开始的时候呢，是负责的那个人就坐在那个桌子的头前面然后其他人就坐在旁边那里。For whatever plates you make ready, you need to get one extra set. 你准备的每一个的盘给你不同来的家人你除了每一个来的人之外，还要有一个是空的盘放在一边。That one is for welcoming Elijah to come in. 那个是要欢迎以利亚会出现，明白吗？所以这个就是那个的安排Now each table usually they request for somebody who represents the father and somebody who represents the mother or the guardian of the house. 通常呢，他们就会在那个每一个桌那边就会邀请有一个人代表做父亲的，邀请一个人代表是做母亲的because there's something that needs to be done for father's role and mother's role. 因为母亲有母亲要做的东西，父亲有父亲要做的东西那么通常他们的开始呢，就会说，你可以有中文的这个可以看很简单的来讲一讲开始的第一页里面所进行的就是除孝，对吧？除孝呢 ，at the beginning you start with telling the people that the Jewish people will need to remove all the yeast from the house.
Yeah.
And that's a very tedious but very precise procedure that they need to do. Right? 他们通常呢就是什么，全部是发酵的，一概不可留在家里，全部都把它清掉。Spring cleaning is to get rid of the yeast. Okay. 然后呢，在逾越节的这一个呢，是要在逾越节的这个前一天晚上都一定要把它完全已经做好了。The night before Passover meal, you must have already have all this thing out, all the yeast stuff out. Okay. and usually they burn them on the thing with the yeast. 其实他们就是他们会除掉这个哈。And then from the New Year, which is Rosh Hashanah, to the Passover is how many days?
I think around 180 days.
Huh?
Around 180 days.
What?
180 days. Around Rosh Hashanah is in September, right?
About 180 days. Okay. Oh, that's pretty good.
Because September, end of September we have Rosh Hashanah, right? And Passover is in March, April.
Yes, yes. Now, after when you get rid of the yeast, usually you can fast, you can pray, 你可以禁食，你可以祷告because yeast represents sin. 因为这个酵代表是罪。You want to confess your sins, you want to get yourself clean, your house, your person clean, you want to get your household ready in order to partake in the Passover meal. 你要认罪啊、悔改啊、洁净自己啊，来迎接这一个的逾越就迎接这个的主人耶稣在你的生命里面嘛。So the confession prayer is mentioned here on the inside page, in the Chinese one. So you can follow the approximately guideline from there. Yeah. But once it comes to the actual meal, when everybody is invited to come and sit, you can invite whoever that can fit your table, basically. 你可以邀请来的人，就是能够坐得到在你的桌子那里 ，and one empty space 会来讲，然后一个是空的位置给你一样，那就可以了。So it begins with you have a set of candles you need to light at the table. 在那里呢是有蜡烛有一堆的蜡烛放在那里呢，你是来点。The one who lit the candle will be the
Father.
No. The one who lit the candle will be the mother. Yes, it is the mother. 是女的吗？是母亲是要不要一起来点那个蜡烛 ？Okay. So when you light the candle, they will say like a blessing prayer. 你点蜡烛的时候呢，他们会讲一个的这个祝福的这个祷告。这个祝福的祷告呢 ，in English it says, "Blessed are you, O Lord our God, King of the universe, who has set us apart by His word, and in whose name we light the festival lights." 然后在这个开始的时候，那个母亲点蜡烛的时候，她这里有说点蜡烛我们一起念我们的上帝，我们称颂的名，因你以你的诫命洁净了我们，又吩咐我们燃亮节点的或者是洁净的这个灯那么你回不回应那个是另外一回事在这个中文的那个版的第2页，这里面的那一页里面是点蜡烛的那一页。You see that? Okay. So you start with lighting the candle, okay, with this blessing prayer, and then after that you are going to start with blessing the cup, okay. So you pour up the first cup, 所以你就倒出第一杯来，有吗？找到？倒出那个第一杯第一个杯呢这个杯是叫做洁净或者是成圣的这个杯。The first cup is called the cup of sanctification. Okay, cup of sanctification. Now, if you want to recite in the Hebrew prayer, I have a set of the Hebrew prayer also for you, so you can go and read this thing. Okay. 那么有这个祷告的这个祝福文可以用这个希伯来文比如说希伯来文。Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei pri hagafen. Something like that. It will be fun, but okay. So that's what it is. First cup is called a cup of sanctification. 第一个杯是叫做成圣的杯。It signifies how God remembers His people and bring His people to come out of the burden of slavery. 是代表神是怎么样 纪念带领他的子民是脱离埃及的那个痛苦。And then it depends on individual. Here, some of the proceeding says the person who's the master of ceremony can say a prayer with that. 这里就是说，那个主礼的人呢，可以有他的这个祷告啊。So it means you begin the process of creation. There are 4 steps whole ceremony. 在这整个的这个仪式里面呢，有4个杯啊，有4个步骤。The first cup signifies it is God, Heavenly Father, who started salvation for mankind. 第一个呢，就代表天父开始了这个救恩的过程，给他的子民。然后呢，就表明是神怎么样要来拯救他的子民，脱离凶恶，就是在第2个杯。And when it comes to the second cup, I'm just going to mention just the procedure first, the steps. The second cup speaks about how God will begin to involve with His people to get them to come out of the pain or the sufferings of Egypt. 第2个杯 the second cup.
Number 7.
Huh?
Number 7.
Second cup.
Okay.
Which is number 7.
Your number. Number 7.
Number 6.
7.
For you Chinese, maybe Chinese.
I'm just talking about the cup first. The cup first. Okay. Okay, why don't I do it this way? I'll follow this thing. So you'll get it step by step. It's already in there. Okay? 你就是照着这个次序就可以了。我只是想讲的是有4个杯，4个杯呢，就是第一，神创造天地，举起这个杯，就是代表神创造这个宇宙万物的开始了这个救恩，对吗？So I just want to mention briefly about just the 4 cups. You don't need to look at the sequence now. 你可以现在不要看着那个次序，你只是 listen to the 4 cups. 听关于这4个杯啊。First cup begin. The master of ceremony is actually signifies God Himself that comes to start the creation. 第一个杯就是代表这一位的神来创造天地，这个神开始了救赎给我们。Second cup speaks about the suffering. It's a cup of suffering. 这个第2个杯呢，就是受苦的杯啊。Because the people are led into slavery for 400 years. So with the eating of all the bitter things, plus the sweet things and the tears, will be symbolized around this stage. 所以那个吃苦菜呀，吃那种甜的，但是一堆堆的，好像这个砖的那种颜色的东西呀，这一些有点那个盐水像眼泪的那个，就是大概在这个过程里面表明那个受苦的。And then the 3rd cup will be the cup where Jesus begins the Holy Communion. That's the cup of blessing. 第3杯呢是耶稣开始这一个的祝福的杯，就是在第3杯的时候才是有耶稣设立的圣餐，明白吗？第4个杯那是不喝的，留在那里的意思，有个表明哈。The 4th cup signifies at the end of this 4-stage salvation. The 4th cup is to be drunk in heaven, right? To be drunk in heaven, because that's what Jesus said. I will not drink of this wine again with you, this cup again with you, until we meet in heaven. 所以第4个杯是表明我们是接受了第3个杯的祝福的杯，信了主耶稣基督之后，有份于他的圣餐的人。我们是可以喝这个第4杯，只是这个第4杯要在天国里面喝。Okay, so that's the 4 cups. Understand? That's why we need to lift it 4 times. 意思说我们有4个杯，要4个时间不同的时间举起来，每次举起来代表一个阶段。Okay, very very simple. Okay, now come back to the procedure. Okay, 我们就来到它的那个次序啊，次序。The first cup After you started it, let me see here, the wine. Some people would include the washing of hands. Now it depends on if you want to put it in, or is it necessary to put it in? The Jewish people used to have it. Yeah. Do they wash it 2 times or 1 time?
Twice.
They wash it twice. Yeah. The actual ceremony is you have to wash it 2 times.
Yeah, twice.
In there, including in there. 那么这一个开始的时候，祝福了这个杯之后，你就要拿那一个的绿色的菜，要拿来点那一个的盐水的。Okay. So what they do after the first cup of blessing is usually they will take the green because you need to start everything with eating vegetable. Remember, no longer the bread, eating the vegetable. So you will need to take the green to dip into your salt water and then eat it. 那就是说你要先吃这个点的盐水的这块叶，先吃。And the salt water represents the tears in slavery. 那个盐水是代表他们在那个以埃及里面所受的这个痛苦的那个流泪。So after before you eat the green, there is a blessing for this green. Okay. 那他们会有一个祷告，是围着一个绿色的菜来祷告的啊。Let me see where it is.
The prayer?
Yes, it's item number 6. 第6点 in the proceeding. Okay. After you wash your hands, the one who's a master of ceremony will do that, or somebody from the table will represent and do that. In the Passover meal, the Jewish people do. Who is the one that
Actually, the main person will do it, and the person who's like the head of the family, he'll do it. Like in our table, Jason would do it, and other people like we'll give the person in charge, the oldest person in charge.
oldest person
In charge, yeah. The oldest man in charge.
Yeah, it's usually the father.
Father, yeah, because but in our house, Jason, but when we have a Passover Seder, like chosen people Seder, we invite other people too, right? So whoever's sitting, the oldest person will be in charge.
OK， 那他们犹太人的这个做法是找当家里面是最年长的来做这个洗手的这个仪式。
最年长的男人，他说。
是男人，当家的男人。OK， 男的啊。If you have a say single parent family, whoever you invite at the table,
Yeah, with men.
who is a man, you can invite. Yeah.
Men.
所以如果你是单亲，比如说你请来的那些家庭不同的人啊，有男的你可以叫他来，就是一个洗手的仪式来开始的仪式，这是表明洁净的So it signifies cleansing. Okay, signifies cleansing. They usually have a declaration of there concerning the king, who is the creator. His name is to be praised because he makes us clean by his covenant. And then you're going to wash your hands, you know. Yeah. 所以这个就是宣告那个祝福，就是这个创造宇宙的神，他是以他的这个律法使到我们洁净，然后那个做男的那个代表，那就洗手来代表。之后就吃那个的菜，点那个盐水的菜。After that, you eat the karpas. Okay, and you mention the blessing for the karpas. 然后你就讲那个是这个叫做什么菜？是这一个菜嘛？的这个我看是叫什么名？茶叶，对，就是那一块菜，就是了哈，盐在盐水里面的那一个哈，然后你就宣告一个祝福，you speak a blessing over that, and then you dip and eat, okay? 那个是第6点呢 ，point number 6, okay? Yeah, and then you need to retell the story about this plague, which Cheryl was telling about this 10 plagues 比赛。然后呢，你就要懂得什么是十灾啊。Here is this thingy of the 10 plagues.
Story means they should tell them why are we doing this? The whole Passover story, like how the 10 plagues,
Yeah, it's best to get some kids at the table to ask questions.
Yeah.
You know, 最好你有小孩子在那个餐桌呢，你就叫他们来问问题，叫他们来问问题。What was the first question just now?
Why is it different than the Sabbath meal?
Yeah. Why is it different from the rest of the night, right? Now, this second part, because we are going to go into the slavery for 400 years for the Israelite people, there is a retelling of the story. So you can take up the Bible verses on how they were enslaved in Egypt, and you need to read out the 10 plagues right there, okay? About how God comes to deliver His people with a mighty hand, you know, with the staff, you know. So you need to mention the 10 plagues. 这里呢，你就是重讲这个的故事，是讲神如何的以大能大力生出来的这个这样的能力来拯救他的子民，用十灾降在埃及来拯救他的子民啊。So you can have somebody read the Bible verses. 你可以叫人来读圣经。The best thing is get the children to read the Bible.
They make the children sit down next to the master ceremony, the toast. So the kids will ask questions.
Yes.
You know, and they make the children
Yes,
as it is.
yeah. 通常他们就是叫坐下来的小孩子要问4个问题的那天晚上。
可不可以令他比较有趣一点，看那个出埃及记的电影
Oh, no.
？No.
Because this is not the time to watch the movie
No.
on YouTube. No. Because it will take away from the Passover meal. Yeah. Now, what are the 10 plagues? The blood, the frog, the gnats, the flies, the pestilence, the boils, the hail, the locusts, the darkness, and the death of the
firstborn.
firstborn. 那些是什么东西呢？第一个是雪、青蛙、
Frogs, lice,
那个跳蚤的那种，
flies,
flies.
then death of the livestock,
起泡的那个苍、冰泡、蝗虫、黑暗，还有头生儿子的死亡。Salt water represents the tears. Then you speak about the story. Okay, tell the story. 所以当你就是点了那个盐水之后，你就讲那个故事了吧，对吗？讲那个故事出来。然后呢，你就知道是神降十灾来，就是把这个埃及他们的那个能力打掉，然后能够救他的子民出来。So you want to speak about the power and the demonstration of God in order for Him to just cause these 10 plagues to happen to the Egyptians in order to deliver His people. So it's a mighty act of deliverance. Let's see here. Now, then comes the mentioning of the second cup, because the second cup would get the people to be freed up, right? 所以这里呢是讲第二个杯，第二个杯呢就使到神的子民是释放出来。Okay, let's see, where are we? The second cup is called the cup of judgment. 第二个杯呢是讲这个神的审判要临到这个埃及人的身上。Now, if you want some scriptures that you want to read, for example, here is the Exodus 3:19 to 20, Exodus 12,
The whole Passover story.
12, yeah. So Exodus 12 speaks about the whole Passover, yeah, the whole thing, you know. So you can choose selected scriptures for which one you want to read. 这里有一些的经文你可以拿来念的哈，包括是出埃及记第3章19到第20节，出埃及记12章呢就讲整个的这个出埃及的这个拯救。And there, some people may, sing a song concerning God's great, mighty deliverance. 这里呢，你可以唱一些诗歌，是关于神的这个大能的拯救， 除了是念这个故事之外And so after that, you lift the second cup. 之后呢，你就把这第二个杯举起来。It's a cup of judgment. 这是审判的杯。Then you can eat
matzah.
matzah. You can eat matzah at this time. 那在这里呢，你可以吃那个的叫做无酵饼。And you speak a blessing over the matzah bread, right? 然后呢，你就会讲一个的这个祷告是来祝福那一个的饼，祝福那一个的饼。And then, when you eat this matzah, 当你要吃这个饼的时候 the question is, you need to find out why you need to eat matzah bread instead of the regular bread, right? 然后这里你要问，为什么我们现在吃的是无酵饼呢？开始是吃菜，现在又吃无酵饼，为什么呢？And then you need to mention that it was because of our ancestors. They were in slavery, and how God now, with the 10 plagues, mighty acts of deliverance, wanting to get them out. So God wants them to escape very, very quickly. 这里是讲到呢，神是要他们从埃及为奴的这个地，受了神的这个施灾之后呢，可以被释放出来所以他们要出来的时候呢，要很快的出来。It speaks about you need to leave sin and the bondage of sin quickly, right? When God's mighty act comes to save you, get out quickly. 当神是大能的这个能力来拯救你的时候，你要赶快的出来，对吧？So they don't have time to bake to let the yeast to rise. So they just only make the bread without the yeast, because they are in a haste to come out. 因为他们是表明这个很紧张要出来所以没有时间是发酵来弄饼，所以这完全是无酵饼。So this is now used to represent no sin. Okay, you leave the camp of sin, and you leave the camp of sin quickly. That's why they need to get rid of yeast in the house. You see? 所以你要把这个很长处的，要马上离开的这种心急要做这个饼，赶快吃，赶快走所以就变成这无效，也表明呢，你要离开埃及，就是犯罪的城市，还有他的苦恼，要离开罪，就是要快快的这个离开，不要延迟没有为自己预备什么的食物You did not prepare like a lot of things for yourself to eat, but you need to leave in haste. And then you praise God for the deliverance. 你就赞美神。给你有这一个的释放出来。So this is the time you need to eat the what do you call it?
Horseradish, yeah.
The 苦菜你要吃这个苦菜的时候 there are a few things you can eat here. One is that you know the sweet
Corset
that you have prepared, and also the bitter herb steak.You can eat the two things together. 这两样东西你可以一起吃，就是你用来代表做砖的那个颜色的那个甜的东西还有那个苦的一起来吃。
But they can make a sandwich, right? What we do is we take the matzah. Yeah, with the matzah, put the horseradish so it doesn't become very bitter. Otherwise, it hits you very fast, right? So what they do is they take the matzah.Apply the small piece of matzah, apply a little bit of that, and close it again with the matzah. So it's the horseradish is in between, and same thing with the corset, like it is in the bricks. Take 2 pieces of matzah, like sandwich it.
Yes. 刚才他所讲的呢，传承给你你可以拿那个，因为你要吃这个无酵饼，对吧？就是要做，所以要做个饼的这个代表所以你就你可以怎么吃呢？他们犹太人的吃法就是拿那个无酵饼夹着这个苦的那个东西，也夹着这个甜的东西一起吃，看起来像个砖的意思就表明你尝到他们400年的在那个又苦里面然后又有神的拯救的那个甜在里面的意思。So you sandwich it like a brick, and then you can eat of the Like you
The
can
carousel
exchange
and the
tickets.
two different sandwiches. Like one is of
Yeah.
carousel and the motor, and one is of the horseradish.
Yes, you can
That
put
was
the
it.
two together. Yeah.
Yeah.
这个是给你一个印象，他说，给你一个尝到他们经历的这个印象的意思啊。Now after all this, okay, there is also you need to now take you know that unity piece that 你要拿那个叫做合一的那个3块的东西哈。You need to the head of the master will need to take out the middle piece 啊。在那个做主理的那个呢，要把中间的那个东西拿出来了，啊，拿出来，你要把它打开，然后把它掰成一半，掰成一半之后，一半放在那里，另外一半仍然包起来，然后就叫小孩子把它放到一个地方藏掉它，或者是找一个人把它藏。So what you do with that unity is that you take out the middle piece which was wrapped, you unwrapped it. You need to break it. You need to cover half of it to be hidden away. Okay, and then the other half you display it. Now this thing speaks about the Lord Jesus Christ. We know that, right? 这个东西我们大家都知道是讲主耶稣基督啊。Jesus, He is the one who comes in the flesh. 主耶稣是什么？道成肉身来到 ，so we can see Him. 我们可以看到他，对吧？But when He would be broken and died for us, buried, that's the one that's removed. Right? 所以下面的那一半就是本来是一块打开来是一块的哈，后来就把它掰成一半啊。隐藏的那一半代表呢，这个所看见的这个道成肉身的主耶稣基督，他为我们的罪死，然后呢为我们是埋葬，所以就包起来下一半。放开了。Later on, this half a piece will be retrieved at near the end of the ceremony. 然后在这个差不多要完的这个节庆的背后的时候，这半块要会被找回来。Usually you get the kids to do something. To go and you hide it somewhere and get the kids to have a good time looking for it, right? 所以你就叫小孩子就把它找回来。找到回来的时候呢，就可以拿来做圣餐。Usually this is the piece that people will use for Holy Communion. Since we're at this, I'm just going to explain the meaning of the other half that was hidden. Yeah. The matzo bread, it's baked in such a way where it looks like it has been pierced. Okay, it looks like there are stripes. Okay. So that represents the suffering Messiah that has suffered for us and pierced and received stripes, bruised for us. He died and resurrected. So when we take that bread to do Holy Communion, we are actually saying which is the resurrected Jesus, the Messiah, is the food we eat, is the bread we eat, the bread of life. And we drink, and that's when we have the cup of blessing as a third cup for Holy Communion together with it. It means we drink of the cup of salvation where God set up His holy covenant with us. Yeah, whereby we have an eternal covenant with God. 所以这个第三杯是祝福的杯，这个祝福的杯呢，就是我们是要用圣餐来用的。那半块饼呢，是被隐藏拿走的那个，是代表这位的弥赛亚，受苦的弥赛亚。因为那个饼看起来是好像有洞呢，好像有，就是说耶稣被刺伤了的，耶稣承受的这个鞭伤，他所承受的一种的就是击打他承受的鞭伤带出来给我们有医治。他为我们承受的这一个罪孽的这个惩罚，使到我们能够得平安等等。这个主耶稣呢死了，这个弥赛亚死了，埋葬了，然后呢第三天从死里复活。所以当我们用这一个饼来做圣餐Holy Communion的时候，那主耶稣不是把那个饼举起来说：“这是我的身体嘛，对吧？”所以就是吃的是什么呢？复活的主耶稣基督就是我们生命的粮，是这个意思。 然后喝的那个杯是救恩的杯，救恩的杯呢是恩典的杯啊，这是恩典的杯，就是说以耶稣基督的宝血和我们神和我们立的这个永恒的约，让我们能够进入永生。The one who has partaken in the third cup, that means partaken in the Holy Communion, will be the ones waiting for the Messiah's second coming, so that we can now get ready to drink the fourth cup, which is in
Heaven.
Yeah. So it helps us to know He is allowing us to eat of Him and drink of Him until we get to the heaven and be united with Him and share in the the last cup with Him. Salvation ends in the kingdom of God.
Amen.
So it's a whole process of salvation, and it's a writing of a story of salvation for mankind. 所以整个的这个故事，整个的这个仪式，是表明，特别是第三个杯那里，我们吃的耶稣基督的身体和他的血，一直到他来嘛，对吗？迎接我们进到天国里面，我们就和他一同坐席来喝这个第四个杯啊。所以这个是这个救赎的整个过程就在这里，清楚啊 ？Clear? And then we were at and then you eat the meal. So you can pray and you can bless the meal, and then everybody eats, right? 所以你就可以祷告，你就可以祝福，然后吃那个的餐。What we will prepare for everybody to eat on the 20th of April will be the lamb meat and also with beef. 我们在4月20号，来和大家吃的这个餐哈，是用羊肉，也有牛肉在里面。
What was today? What did you say?
On April the 20th, the church will have a Passover meal.
Okay.
Yeah, for what we will eat as part of the dinner that they are going to pray and bless and eat. We are going to eat lamb meat and also beef.
Why beef?
Roast beef.
Why beef?
Why beef?
Some people like to eat beef. And it's cheaper also.
But no matcha ball soup, nothing?
You want to make matzo soup? Yeah, it's a.
Did make the
it's a
matcha ball
recipe for you
soup?
to make
Yeah,
matzo
but then
soup.
you better tell Gloria that how many people are coming because we have to buy the. Yeah.
Ingredient.
Uh-huh. Okay.
It's a lot of work. What's it?
We eat up the meal, and then it comes to. Oh, and there's a blessings for the. The half that has been the bread that has been broken into half. That half which was broken and hidden away is called the afikomen. Okay, afikomen. Yeah. 这个一半是掰开来之后又包起来的这一半叫做 afikomen。它的意思就是说我会再回来的意思。It means I'm coming back again. Yeah. That means this must be Christ Jesus, the resurrected one, to come and pick up his bride, That means we are his bride.
Amen.
Yeah. So when you take Holy Communion, you are actually accepting the marriage proposal of Jesus Christ, the Messiah, to you. You see what I'm saying? It's a powerful thing. 所以在这个你这一半块的这个叫做 afikomen， 就是说我会再回来的意思。你用这一个拿来当圣餐的时候，你其实是接受耶稣对你的这个求婚的，对吗？你接受他向你求婚，因为你要愿意吃他，接受他，成为他的心腹。Because 你就是要是这一个东西，明白啊？这个是非常重要的一个环节。Because it speaks about a blood covenant，因为这讲到是个血约的，对吧 ？Yes, He covers us with His life. He purchased us with His life. We are His. Nobody would die for anyone except the groom would be willing to die for his bride, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So 就是说，新郎愿意为新娘死，以他的血来命啊，来就买出他回来啊。 这个就是每一次吃圣餐是接受主耶稣基督新郎向他的新娘，是讲明我用我的生命买你回来做我的生命，我是他的身体而生，我接受，我是你的生命。在这个月里面 ，so understand that in this Holy Communion, you are taking this bread and it's actually the Messiah saying, take, I give my life for you, come and be my bride. And when you eat of his blood and body, you are saying, yes, I want to. I am your bride. I eat of you. I take your sacrifice for me. I am willing for you to die for me. It's a powerful thing. There is a blessing for the Afikomin. 就是在那个顶啊，会有一个祝谢的这个祝福的这个祷告。Then you have your meal， 你就吃餐 meal as usual， right？ 然后你就是平常你吃什么都可以 ，whatever you can eat，
But no pork, only kosher.
kosher.
Yeah.
No pork， 没有猪肉。没有猪肉 ，OK。Any other prohibition? Any other thing we
No,
can?
it's only no pork, no shrimps, nothing, no seafoods at all. Like
No seafood.
shellfish, yeah.
No unclean food types. 就是没有那个有，你知道虾不是有那种混合的那种，没有那一种就很洁净的店里面的食物。
No use. Okay. Yeah.
Even now, my husband follows kosher. We follow the 7 days. We follow the kosher because we have been trained from prison people, right?
Okay. Now the next thing now. After the meal, you want to come to the Holy Communion now, isn't it? The third cup. Don't forget the third
Salvation.
cup. Right?
So we eat meal first
Yeah.
and then the
Third cup.
The third cup.
Right? Yeah, you get full first. Because remember, 1 Corinthians did say,
Eat
when
first.
you come to eat the Last Supper,
Yeah.
why don't you wait for each other?
Yeah. Eat first.
Some would grab at the food first and some would not, like all kinds of his wife. Because the Holy Communion is after the huge meal. Yeah, that's what it is. 你知道那哥林多前书不是有说吗？你们吃喝的时候要等待，彼此等待，对吗？原来他们来，这么多食物就这边吃，然后你又不等我，我又不等你，那些人驾车来了还没打开，你吃完了，那一种的情况啊，这种情况，为什么呢？因为要彼此等候来吃圣餐，圣餐是在这个主餐之后，对吧？是有这个次序在那边。Okay, now
Jesus said,
comes to the Holy Communion. Now everybody know about how to start the Holy Communion, right?
Yeah.
大家懂得做 Holy 圣餐对吧？每个都是会啊。Okay, no problem there. Okay. Make sure you use the Afikomin, that piece.
Yeah,
Make
so
sure you
many
get your
of
kids to get the thing to come back. Otherwise, they need to wait. 所以你要等候是什么？还只能把那一块藏起来的那块找回来。
And whichever kid finds, you give a prize, like $20.
So you raise up the cup of blessing. 所以现在你就举那个第三个杯，就祝福的杯，对吧？祝福的杯。So there is a blessing also for the wine. I mean the grape juice.
Yeah.
That's over. Where's my prayer? That prayer thing for the third cup.
Actually, we can go
Oh,
online
you just
and
know
follow
that there's a third cup and there's a
chosen
blessing for
chosen
the
people.
third cup.
that's why I told her to Google.
Chosen people ministries.
然后呢，你会有这个第三杯呢，就是这个祝福的杯啊。你祝福了这个杯的时候，然后就可以领圣餐。So after you bless the third cup, you start the Holy Communion right there. Okay. It's good to get the people who sit at your table to understand the grace of the third cup before they actually partake in the Holy Communion. 最好呢，就是因为第三杯是祝福的杯啊，你要让那些人知道这是一个恩典的杯啊，让就讲解主耶稣基督的这个救赎。You can summarize the deliverance and the salvation of Jesus Christ, who come and died on the cross for our sins, died and buried, right? Now he comes back. I mean, he is the communion, actually. Yeah. 所以这个主耶稣基督亲自的出现，因为这个复活的这个饼啊，代表这个复活的主耶稣，他本来就是我们的圣餐嘛，对吧？Make sure you tell them the meaning of the withdrawal. 但是我想提示的就是两样东西，要有重点。Two things I want to mention as your highlight. Yeah. The highlight is what you are taking is actually the Christ who is coming back for his bride. Because it means I'm coming back. Maranatha. 意思就是说，重点在哪里？就让他们知道，这个饼是代表是要回来接我们的这一个良人，是代表他，也就是我们的主。So if you want to partake in the Holy Communion, you need to know you are agreeing to marry Jesus. Right? 所以如果你是要吃这个圣餐的，你是表明我愿意嫁给耶稣，是这个东西愿意嫁给主耶稣。And then the second thing now, 第二样东西。You need to let them know that you are participating in a blood covenant, marriage blood covenant, that the group is willing to shed his blood to buy you to be right, by removing whatever bondage is on you, so that you can be free up now and he can take you with him. Okay?
Does it equal to redemption?
To put in a simple term that they can understand. 所以你要解释清楚，让他们容易明白了，就是原来这一个的主，第二样东西要留意的就是那个约，是一个血约。什么血约呢？是他愿意来洒他的血来救我出来，然后就讲到他怎么样代替我钉在十字架上，把我的罪除去，对吧？然后呢，把我就是拯救了过来。成了他的心腹，是这个。所以呢，我愿意接受的话，我就是在这个的约里面嘛，对吗？ So when I'm willing to partake in the Holy Communion, I'm saying, yes, I'm willing to come into a blood covering with you and accept your blood covering over me. That's the Holy Communion. And then you can lead them to pray to receive Jesus as personal Lord and Savior, usually right there, right? 你就可以邀请他们接受主耶稣为他们个人的救主。 Any question there? No? Okay. Then, after that, there is this thing about the egg. After the Holy Communion, remember the egg? Don't forget the egg. Right? Yeah. Remember the egg represents? The蛋. We are wanting the蛋.
Say
morning.
Yes.
Say
Morning.
No, it's resurrection.
那个蛋呢，本来的那个原意原本
No
的意
morning.
思
No, no, it's no.
就是犹太人
In the morning with eggs
有人
and
死
with
了埋葬了之后，那个主家派给来叫做慰问的人呐，他们就派个鸡蛋给他们，就成为第一个他们吃的。所以当以色列看这个蛋，就有了一种哀悼的这种意识。这个哀悼什么东西呢？圣殿没了，献祭也没了，对吗？是这两样东西。So, this egg represents that type of symbolically meaning the type of mourning for no temple and therefore also no sacrifice that can be presented for this Passover holiday, holy day, you know. Yeah, it's the remembering of the temple that was destroyed. 287.
So you cut to pieces, everybody eats a piece. No, you stay. No, you stay. Never. Because when Jewish people, when they come back from a funeral, they start eating eggs boiled.
Then wait until have the temple. So what they are ready now is they ready the priest 90 priests ready, priestly garments everything ready, the red heifer ready in order to perform sacrifices. They even prepare all the materials of building the temple ready. They ready everything in order for them to start sacrifice.
Killing the heifer, killing the ram.
Yeah. Yeah, they are breeding those things right now, which is readily available actually. It's just that they don't have a place to do the sacrifice. You know, it's not easy for them because you know the ark. This is a side point now. The ark. There are two things concerning the ark. If you cannot find the ark, you cannot build a temple.
Yeah.
所以第一应该就是，你如果找不到那个约柜，你不可能会建一个圣殿。And the ark must be 5 floors above the ground.
Yeah.
You cannot touch the ground, right? 这个叫约柜必须是5层楼高的，因为是不可以碰到地的。So if you want to do sacrifice, you have to get
The art.
the ark inside the building, and then you have to have the ascent, you know. You have to have all the bronze altar and wash basin, and then you go up to the temple, you know. You have the songs of ascents in the book of Psalms. You have 150 of them, you know. So they ascend even from far away as they parade to come to the temple, right? They have all those in the book of Psalms, and they don't have none of these.
But I think in Jerusalem, I think Pastor Grace, they're doing this, you know. I think in Israel they do it still, I think so.
I don't know what exactly they do now in terms of symbolic acts.
I think so, because they
They
say.
have no way they can do sacrifice. No, cannot be.
So how they sacrifice then? How they make the
They
kurban?
would just gather, and they will probably mourn over the thing, and they have their Passover meal in the home, having these to represent, you know, that's all they can do. Yeah. 这犹太人不可能的，犹太人不可能有任何的地方做献祭，为什么呢？因为你没有约柜，一定不可以献祭，不可能搞的。好，而且呢，这种叫做上行的诗不能够被唱出来的，又没有任何的给他们洗干净的这个地方啊，洗桌盆啊，什么铜祭坛啊，什么都没有，对吧？好，你怎么可以献祭呢？不能够献祭的话，也不能够叫朝见。去到那个至圣的地方啊，所以他们只能够在逾越节的时候，是每一个家庭自己有他们的这个叫做纪念的东西。After the Holy Communion, remember the egg because it's no temple, right? So you need to eat the egg. 你需要吃那个鸡蛋啊 ？Yes. And after that, after you eat the egg, yeah. Well, at least you know that that's the sequence. You know. Some people eat the egg in between. You know.
Yeah, they eat it with the meat.
Yeah, you eat it with the meat and with other things because they have a meat sacrifice, which they need to remember, right? So they eat it with the meat.
Yeah, they usually eat
Just
it.
to let you know that you need to remember there's an egg, and the egg represents, you know, their mourning over the loss of sacrifice in the temple. 你的蛋呢？你不照次序吃的话呢，你就是吃肉的时候吃，因为那个蛋是标志2样东西的嘛，对吗？他们是哀悼这个没有这个殿，也哀悼没有那个有肉的那一种的献祭啊，什么东西。但是只知道应该次序是后面吃。The rightful procedure is eating after the
meal.
Holy Communion, at the end. Yeah. Okay, remember that one. And then the next thing now, we come to the Elijah's place. Okay. Now in between you can sing hymns and you can, I don't know, mention some Bible story, but don't get it too long. 在中间的那个地方，你可以唱点诗歌啊，讲点故事啊，是什么样的东西都可以啦。之后呢 ，you have the Elijah's plate, remember? Now you need to get a kid to go and
Look out for him.
yeah, you need to close the whatever. If you can find a door, you know, in the place of your eating. So you close up your
Yeah, I'm going to pray like
room
a
door. You get a kid to go and open up the door. To look.
pray like a.
Where is Elijah? You know, is he coming? Welcome Elijah to come in. Yeah. So, 然后下一步呢，就是就找个小孩子你就把你这个如果有门的话啦你这个大厅的这个旁边那个门，你 就叫那个小孩子去开那个门，欢迎以利亚进来，对吗？啊 You know why they need to welcome Elijah? You know why?
Witness, right?
Huh?
Because we want the witnesses also.
He's one of the witnesses.
And also because, they say Jesus is not the prophet, is it Elijah, or is John the Baptist?
Yes. Yes. 这个是什么？
喺耶穌翻嚟之前點解就會嗰個prepare the way of the Lord 係咪啊？我 just guess
Okay.
係咪咧？
Yes.
before 耶穌嚟嘅時候，佢開道嗰個先知嚟嘅，個耶穌開道。
John the Baptist.
Yeah. Preparing the way of the Lord.
No,
This is the
they
day
have
of
to
the
be
Lord.
right? They prophet
Yes.
is John the Baptist, they are the
So what does it mean? That's right here.
Preparing the way of the Lord.
Let me get the eagle. Where is my list? Well, basically, basically you welcome Elijah coming because you want to welcome the prophetic, what do you call it? The prophecies that are in the Bible, right? There are prophecies in the Bible. 圣经里面不是讲有预言吗？ The prophecies are concerning the coming of the Lord Jesus Christ.
Amen.
这个预言里面是讲到耶稣基督的这个再来。You're welcoming the prophetic events coming, leading to Jesus coming.
Amen.
Right? It's the voice of the prophetic. 所以你要欢迎的就是这个先知性的预言，关于主的再来，你是欢迎他再来。And as you welcome the people of God, the prophets of God, the servants of God who preach and minister concerning the coming of the Lord Jesus Christ, they are welcome in your home. 你是要欢迎那些是什么？是愿意讲神的话，是关于主再来的，还有他们所讲的这一些教导，欢迎他们进来。这个。Now, after that, you raise the fourth cup, right? 之后呢，你就举那个第四杯。Now, this is the cup of praise. 这个是赞美的歌了。We know that as you raise this cup, you are actually saying, "Wow, I've participated in the whole process of salvation up till now." 意思说，哇，我参加了这个神所开始的这个救赎，从开始到现在。我最后是会去哪里呢？Where would I end up at last? In the kingdom of heaven.
Amen.
Drinking it with Jesus Christ, right? 最后我是等待我是和耶稣一起，他来接我，是进到那个天国去，和他一同坐席。And that's the feast of the in heaven. We sit and eat the feast of the wedding feast.
Wedding, yeah.
Yes, we are the bride, get ready.
Yeah.
So, wedding feast. No, Revelation 19 speaks about the wedding feast, right?
Marriage ceremony.
Yes.
Marriage ceremony.
这个就是我们最后的这个第四杯去哪里喝啊？
Marriage to the Lamb, yeah.
去喝我们自己的婚宴的筵席的酒杯呀，对吧？那去哪里呢？去到耶稣基督的这个新郎迎接我们，你看的新娘的这个羔羊的筵席的那个地方，哇，最好不过。This is Hallelujah.
Amen.
So you can do all kinds of praise, whatever thing right there, as what Jesus does not drink this cup yet,
No.
right? Yeah.
Because
So if you drink, you are saying prophetically, it's a prophetic act. When I get there, I will drink it. When it comes to the blessing of the last cup, everybody will raise it. Wow, everybody will just celebrate and party. I'm just going to read the praise of this name. 我是念这个他的那个祝福哈。Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei pri hagafen. All will say, "Blessed art thou, O Lord our God, King of the universe, creator of the fruit of the vine." Then you drink the fruit. Hallelujah. And then after that, well, you may want to sing whatever praises, songs. And you are actually, when they are singing, what they do is they parade as a whole group.
Yeah, yeah, they dance actually. They do a messianic dance.
Yes, going to the temple place to see God. 原来是他们是一群人呢，唱着这种上行的诗，要从远远的离开始唱到进那个圣殿里面去上那台阶，唱，然后是朝见神。然后呢
sing and dance.
Yeah, but
最后呢这里说呢
symbols and all these symbols.
The Seder of Passover is now complete, even as our salvation and redemption are complete. Just as we were privileged to celebrate it in this year, so we may be privileged to do so in the future. And all the people will say, "Oh, Heavenly Father, restore the congregation of Israel in your love. Speedily lead your people, redeemed to Zion, in joy." And so everybody will say together, "Next year in Jerusalem."
Yes,
Ah, 所以全部的人都一起说，明年在耶路撒冷见。是这个意思。为什么呢？是因为这个逾越餐已经完了，对吧？就完，不是说完，就是说完整的，完整的。我们呢的救赎也是完整的，是真的是会被得救，是去到那一边的天国里面那一个的。我们是真有这个福分，今年来把它庆祝，所以呢，如果主还没有来接我们的时候，我们明年在耶路撒冷见，明年再来吃逾越节餐，阿们。